So, friends, what is AWS CDK? You might have seen Terraform. So, with the help of Terraform, you might have done the automation in AWS or any other Google or any other cloud providers. So here we are discussing AWS CDK. So what is it? So AWS CDK is a framework that allows developers to define and provision infrastructure resources in AWS using familiar programming languages like TypeScript, Python, Java, and others. With Terraform, what is the problem? You have to learn the its language. But here, what is we are doing? We are using the known languages like Python, JavaScript, TypeScript, and so what it does, it provides a higher level abstraction to describe your infrastructure as code and making it easier to create and manage AWS resources. So how it works? So AWS CDK uses constructs. Constructs are the building blocks. It is used to define AWS resources. Think of construct as a reusable component that represent individual AWS services or combination of services. What we are going to do here is we are going to create everything in practical. I am just explaining in few minutes what how it works. So construct and encapsulate the configuration and behavior of these services, making it easier to create, manage, and modify your infrastructure. So the CDK constructs are organized into different levels: level 1, level 2, and level 3. So these are lower level. So what is level 1? So level 1 is a lower level construct and directly mapped to the AWS Cloud Formation resources. They provide one-to-one mapping and expose the raw properties and options of AWS resources. What is level 2? So level 2 are a higher level abstraction built on top of L1 construct. They simplify the usage of AWS resources by providing more expressive API and convenient methods for common operations. L2 constructs often have more sensible defaults and additional functionality compared to L1. Now, what is L3? L3 is a higher level constructs are often provided by CDK libraries and community driven packages. So they further abstract away the complexity of provisioning AWS. Assume you have a situation wherein you have multiple services and you want to integrate one service to another service, or you want to pass values from one service to another service. In that case, you can construct your own level 3 construct by using level 2 and level 1. So we all these things we will see in practical. So let's start our practical straight away. So before starting practical, I need to assign permission to my user, and I need to create a user in the cloud. So after logging to my console, this is my console. I am using my account, and after logging into this, I will get a screen like this. So inside this, you will search for IAM and create one user called as named as CDK and assign permission to it. So let's say I will create one user and I will say add user. I will say CDK. I am using this user for this purpose only. So say next here. Okay. Once saying the next, you again say next, create user. Now this user is created. Click on this. Come to this security credentials. Okay, and here we will give access, programmatic access. So here create access, say command line CLI. Okay, and say next. Click here and say next and assign some value CDK user. Okay, and say create access. Now this key is available with you. So just copy this, come to your command prompt. So start your command. If you are using Windows, start your command prompt in administrator mode. So it will ask permission, say yes, and you will get a screen like this. So here you will see AWS CLI. You have to install AWS CLI. So I already installed AWS CLI. If you don't know how to install AWS CLI, please comment. I will create a separate video for this. So here you have to say AWS configure, and whatever key you got from there, just copy here, access key, press enter, copy the secret key as well, press enter, and my region default is AP South, press enter, press enter. Now my user is configured, but I have not given any sort of permission or policy to do the task. So what I will do is I will again go to here CDK, and again I have just created access key and secret key, but I have not given permissions. So I will assign administrative permission here for this task. So just select administrator and say next and say add permission. So this is the way you can create a administrative access and assign this on the CLI, so that when you fire the commands of CDK, it will be easier for you. So this is the first step. Now second step, what we have to do is I will go into the D drive and I will create one folder called as my CDK, and here we will follow the instructions. So here if you come on this site, AWS Amazon CDK flat, so getting started with CDK, come here, okay, and install one module. So different languages are available, so we are using this. If you are using Python, you have to say like this. So I am using TypeScript, so I have to say npm install this. Okay, so just copy this, and here you have to say -g because I am installing this on global level. So install this. So after installation, you will see something like this. Now we have to start our project. So here you can say your first CDK app. So we'll click this and I will create the app. So I am using TypeScript, so I have to say this, copy this, come here and press the command. Before that, go inside to my CDK folder, which is I already created. So just come here and then fire this command. So what will happen is you will see one CDK project is created for you. So we will see the file structure once this is installed in VS Code, what kind of file structure this is having. So after installation, you will see something like this. Okay, now let me open this in VS Code. So I have to say code dot. So we will see in VS Code what kind of structure it has got. So if you see this is my CDK, and you will see bin, lib, node modules, all these files you will see package.json, all the dependencies and everything you will see. So here we will see this two bin and these things. So I will explain this one by one. So here in this structure, you can see this is the starting point of your stack. So you see this is the starting point and this is the stack. Now what is stack? Stack is nothing but is your logical unit of AWS resources. Okay, so in simple words, a stack represents a logical unit of infrastructure that consists of one or more AWS resources. It provides a convenient way to group related resources together and manage them as a single entity, making it easier to deploy and manage your AWS infrastructure. So here, this if you see here in the lib, this is my CDK dot stack, and I am creating my CDK stack, which is extending this. Now here we have a constructor. In the constructor, we are passing three parameters: scope, ID, and props. So if you see here, so this is my scope is my app, and this is ID, and this here we can pass the props. So for example, let's remove this, or let's say uh, we want this environment account is this and region is this. In this way you can create props and pass here. So for example, I will create some tags here and pass. So here if you see, let me copy and paste. I already so what I will do is I will copy here and paste here. So here what I'm doing is I'm passing tags here as a prop. So understand this. This is my starting point, and this is my stack. In the stack, I am passing the this is my scope. This app is my scope, ID, and these are my props. So most of the time you will use this file to write your infrastructure. So this is my class which I have taken here and passing props. So this file you can use for passing the props and name your stack whatever you want. Okay, let's try to create some resources using L1 construct. So in the documentation, if you come down here, you will see this was the last command. So in the concept, you come to construct. Now construct, already I told you there are L1 construct. L1 is nothing but your mapping to cloud formation template, and whenever you are using L1 construct, so it starts with CFN and the name of the resource, like CFN and bucket represent the S3 bucket. Similar L2. So let's try to create L1 construct here. So with the help of L1, so what I will do here is I will try to create one bucket. So using L1 construct, I will try to create this bucket. So let's copy this code and create one bucket. So come here. So here S3 is not found. So you have to bring this module from here. So you have to say import star as S3. You do this. Now this error is gone. So what is happening is now you will have a bucket with CFN bucket. So this is what your L1 construct. So here we can see the other properties by pressing the control and space bar. So you can see this properties. So earlier I told you that CFN is a straightaway one-to-one mapping with cloud formation. So just check it out. So here we will search for cloud formation S3 bucket, and we will see this. So whatever properties are available in the cloud formation, so you can see this. These are all properties available. So just copy and verify this few of them. Just copy this and check whether really these are mapping here or not. So just copy here, paste here, comment this, come here, press control space bar. Now you can see here again, press control space bar. Now you can see accelerate configuration, access control, analytics, bucket encryption. All these are mapping. If you see cross configuration, so this is a one-to-one mapping with the cloud formation template. So if you want to understand more about this properties, just check with the cloud formation template what that property is saying. So here we'll remove this and we'll try to create one simple bucket now. Now we will try to deploy this with the minimum configuration and see what happens. So after this, I run this command CDK deploy. So I got this error. So if you are getting this error, just run CDK bootstrap. Okay, after what CDK bootstrap will do, CDK bootstrap will ensure that your account is properly configured with CDK CDK deployments. Okay, it needs to be run once as per your account and region. So just run this, and after running this, you will see like this, and then again you run CDK deploy. So again, I will try to run CDK deploy and see what is happening now. Okay, again it has got uppercase error. So just remove this my CDK bucket and now try to deploy this. Yeah, so this my CDK bucket already exists. I already told you that your bucket name should be unique. So here I will say my CDK AWS, add AWS, and now see what is happening. So it's always you have to keep the bucket name unique. When you create this manually, you will get the similar kind of error if your bucket name is not unique. So you make sure that all your bucket name is unique and proper, and it should not contain any upper case. So let's wait here till it gets completed. Hopefully this time it won't give any error. If there is an error, we'll see that error and we'll try to rectify this. So let's see this time I'm not seeing any error. So let's go to here and check out, see my stack create in process. So resources, you can see resources, my bucket is in progress. Okay, so my bucket S3, my bucket is in progress. So you can check out the S3 bucket. See my AWS bucket. I think it's created. Yeah, so you can see this time it is completed. So this is how I have created a L1 construct. Now we'll create a L2 construct for same S3. So here, if you come down, we have seen this L1 construct. Now in L2 construct, you just copy this and what I can do is I'll paste it here. So now this time it is L2 construct and this is the ID. So I will say my bucket ID and we'll deploy this now. CDK deploy with the minimum configuration. Now what is going to happen? What bucket name it is going to take? We have not specified any bucket name. So here, if you do not specify a bucket name, it will generate a bucket name for you and randomly assign bucket name. So if you can see here, this is the bucket ID. It has created randomly from this. So let's wait for this. Yeah. So here it is created. Now okay. So let's see this in CloudFormation template. What is the bucket? My CDK stack. Just check the my ID and yeah. So this is the bucket now. So you can see this very random bucket is being created using the stack name and my bucket ID sort of things. So if you see, check this bucket here. So this is your bucket which is created just now. Okay, so with the minimum configuration, what we have done is we have created bucket. Now what all are the properties here, how you can see this? So again here control plus space. So here you can see this properties. Now we'll specify a bucket name here. So I will say my AWS CDK demo bucket. Okay. Now again I will deploy this. So let's see what happens, whether it is going to create a new bucket or it is going to replace the name of the bucket with this bucket. So just wait till it gets deployed. Another important thing here is you cannot use L1 construct properties into L2. So here you can just remember this L2 property types with L1 construct or vice versa you cannot use. So always remember this, whenever you are creating L2 construct you cannot use the property of L1 construct, or in L1 you cannot use the L2. So remember this and carefully use the properties of those whatever is available to you. So here let's wait for this to be completed. So far now we have created a bucket with L1. Yeah, so it is created with L2 now. So just check it out in the refresh this, close this, and stacks. Just click this again and you will see resource. So now bucket name is changed. So this is the bucket name now change. Earlier bucket was this one. So this is not now. So you can see this bucket name is changed to this one. So now we will do two things here. The first one is we will try to copy some images into this bucket, and second we will try to create one Lambda function. So to copy images into this bucket I need a S3 object. So how to get the S3 object? So let's get the S3 object first. So to get the S3 object I need to import it from AWS CDK lib. So I have to do like this, import star as S3 object from this. Now I have to use this here. So I have to say new S3 object dot bucket deployment. Okay, I have to say this, my ID comma deploy files comma, here I have to pass the props. So basically here I have to say the source. What is my source? Source S3 object dot source dot asset, and here I have to say my S3. So what we will do is we'll create one S3 folder here. Okay, and here I have to specify my destination bucket. Destination bucket is bucket. So this is my bucket. This is the variable of the bucket. So I have to say this. Okay. Now I think some problem here. Source argument of source sources. It is sources. Okay. So this is the correct implementation of this. Now what we'll do is we'll create a S3 folder here. So I will say mkdir of S3. You can see this S3 folder is created. Now what I will do, I will copy some images into this S3 folder. So I will take few images from my local drive. These images are of some dragon images. Put it in S3. Oh, before putting it S3, I will create one more folder here, and I will name this folder as asset. So I will name this folder as asset, not folder. I need a folder, not file. So I will create one folder here, asset, or let's say assets. Okay, now I will copy here. Okay, so you can see these images appearing over here. So what I have done is I have created S3 object, and I have created my files into S3 under the asset folder. So whatever is in S3, now it is going to deploy everything. Okay, so this is how you can create S3 object. Now I will create one Lambda. So how to create Lambda? First I need to import the Lambda. So here I have to say import star as Lambda from AWS SDK lib slash AWS slash Lambda. Okay, now Lambda is available to me. So how I can use this Lambda? So I will say here const Lambda function equal to, I will say new Lambda dot function. Now here I am using L2 construct. So my Lambda ID or my Lambda function, comma, here you have to pass the props. Now to see the props, you will have all this available. So I will use first, what I will use runtime. So what runtime I will use? I will say Lambda dot runtime dot, here you can see Lambda all runtime is coming. So I will use node 14 JS, comma, next property what I will use handler. So again I have to say handler here, and here I have to say index dot handler. Okay, now where is my code, Lambda code kept? So I have to create one more folder here, mkdir of Lambda. Okay, so here you will see a Lambda folder is created. Inside this Lambda, what I will do is I will copy that code. So here I have to specify code. Where is my code? I will say Lambda dot code again. I have to specify from asset, where what is my asset inside the Lambda. Okay, now here I have to say new file, let's say index.js, and in this file I have to copy this code. So this is a Lambda code. If you have written Lambda like this, you can write the code like this. So this is the Lambda code. Now what I will do is I will try to deploy this and see two things appearing there or not. So now say CDK deploy. So what we have done is, first we have created S3 bucket, copied some file, and we want this file to be present in the S3 bucket. And we have created another thing. What we have created? We have created a Lambda function, and that Lambda function will invoke this index file. So now you can see this what is being added into my stack. So here you can see this this is what is adding. It is specifying here in the before it. So I have to say yes or no. So I will say yes, and I will say deploy. So you have to see what is being added and what is being removed. So here all these things are added. So you can see Lambda is added, Lambda role is also added, and bucket, this thing is making allowed, and IAM policy changes also there. So this will take some time. Once it's get completed, we'll see. Now let's check after deployment what is being done. So my stack resources, you can see this bucket. Now we will see inside the bucket. We'll go to the bucket. In the bucket, we'll see asset folder is there, and inside asset folder you can see 5 files which I copied is also there. If you can see, so 5 files are also present. So this is done. Now we'll see the Lambda function. This is my Lambda function. We'll check the Lambda function. Okay, and code is also there. You can see this, whatever code we have written, it is also there. So in this way you can configure Lambda function, you can deploy files. So let's move further. Now we will try to remove something from our stack. So we'll remove the bucket, and we will remove this as well. Now we will say CDK deploy and see what is happened. Okay, now let's check in the cloud formation what is there. So in the cloud formation, just come here to the stack, refresh this, my stack update is completed. Now here you will see the resources. Now you can see this there is only my Lambda function, but there is no bucket now. So let's check physically if there is any bucket. Bucket was this one. So come here, and we'll go to services S3, and we'll find for the buckets. So you can still see that bucket is still available. Okay, so why this is happening? This is happening because even though stack is removed, if you see there is no stack now. If you come to cloud formation template, stack is there, but inside that stack there is no bucket now. You can see there is no bucket, but physically bucket is still existing. Only Lambda function is there. If you see, only Lambda function is there. So why this is happening? This is happening because we have not configured our bucket to be as a destroy policy. So there is one policy which I will tell you in practically, that you have to use destroy once you want to destroy the complete stack. Why this is by default behavior? Because if you are deleting your stack and some important data in your S3 and you do not want to delete that, so that's why you have to mention the destroy policy. So I will show you this practically. So friend, here we will do try to create the stack differently. So I have removed the stack using CDK destroy, and it is destroyed in order to save the time. Now what I will do, I will try to create the same stack in different way. So what our Lambda function is same, there is no change. Here also there is no change. Now here if you see, I have added this removal policy as I already told you. So this is the removal policy is destroy this time, and this auto delete objects is true. So whenever you remove S3, so all its objects will be deleted. So you can check more on this property. One more thing I have added here is I am passing the props from my main file. So this, if you come inside this bin, so what I am trying to do is I am trying to pass the bucket here. If you see, my bucket name is there, so I'm trying to pass the bucket name as a props. So many a times you will have a situation wherein you have to pass the values from here. So how to collect this value? So I have to create one interface here. So one interface has been created and the name of the interface is this, and you have to say extend, and here you have to say bucket name. So whatever bucket name you have created here, same bucket name you have to define it as a string. Now here if you see, there was earlier cdk dot something. Now here I am, what I am doing, I am giving the same interface name over here. So in this way, what now bucket name, how how I have defined my bucket name? Bucket name I have defined as propt dot bucket name. So this bucket name this time it will take from this file. So in this way, what you can do is you can create the you can pass the props and create the uh, different values whatever you want. So let's deploy this now. Now I will say cdk deploy. So you can see here, so whatever we did, whatever addition we did, it is asking. So just press enter. So now you can see that my stack is deployed. So let's check this in the console. So if you refresh this, you will see my CDK and resources. You will see here, you will see Lambda function is there and bucket is there. So let's check this bucket this time. So you see all files are present, all size is also there. Now what I will do is I will destroy this. Now I will say CDK destroy. What I want to show here is difference. Earlier we did CDK destroy, but bucket was still there because of the policy. So here guys, you have to understand the different properties by going on the documentation page. So here press enter. So this CDK is very powerful once you understand. Now there is some error. So let's check out this error. So here what is saying access denied. Why it is showing access denied? So here you can see this, the stack name is in the failed state. You need to delete from the AWS console. So sometimes you have to you will get these messages. So you have to come here and you have to refresh this. This is my stack. Refresh this. So I think delete is failed. So just try to delete it from here. Try to delete one more time. So CDK destroy, once again I have given the command. So let's see what happens this time. Okay, so here the problem here you will see the bucket you tried to delete is not empty. So this is the problem. So we need to fix this. So friends, we have to delete this manually from here. If you see delete failed, so I will delete this here and I will say delete. Okay, so now it is removed. Now what I will do is I will try to run CDK deploy again, and then again we will try to destroy this. So friends, you can see my CDK deploy is failing because it is saying that my demo bucket already exists. So what I have to do, I have to manually delete everything and then again retry this. So I will delete everything manually and again will retry. So friends, now my stack is deployed. Now we'll see this in the console as well. So if you see this, my demo bucket exists and all the files are there. Now what we'll do, we'll try to remove this by saying CDK destroy, and hopefully this time it will get destroyed. If not, if there is any error, then we need to deep dive into that error, because these two properties are sufficient enough to remove the stack and S3 bucket. So you can see now this is destroyed completely. So let's see this in the console as well. So here you can see this, if I refresh this, so this is gone now. If I come to my buckets and try to find my AWS demo, you won't see anything now. So also in the cloud formation template, if I come here and see, there is no stack. Okay, so friends, this is a like how you can create constructs, and how you can create with the help of CDK, you can create your automation. So in this video, I have tried to explain construct. If you want more detailed and more service oriented, for example, if you want AWS Cognito, or you want AWS DynamoDB or any service, please let me know in the comment box. And if you like this video, please share with your friends and let me know about your comments. Thanks for watching this. See you in the next video.